Okay, we got a winning in here. 2x1 players. Looks like blue-green Nardu, no white maybe, versus Yorzov. A mod is involved. Trying to vindicate something here. We can Malevolent Hermit that if we want. Let's get rid of this crazy graveyard. We do, in fact, want to Malevolent Hermit it. Oh no, we actually vindicated a Malevolent Hermit. That makes some amount of sense, I guess. Yeah, so both players x1. Winner goes into top 8. Loser has to rely on their tiebreakers, although presumably the tiebreakers are good if they're currently x1. So could both be in top 8. Hex Parasite trades off for a Sin Collector, and here's Nardu! So we can get a bunch of triggers from the Hex Parasite for 2 life each, and an additional trigger from the Fate Stitcher, and I guess... Can it get better than that with our 1 remaining mana? If we could get a Fate Stitcher in the graveyard, that would be kind of sick, but I don't know if we can do that. Oh, we can get lands, so we might have more than 1 mana. This is the magic of Nardu, of course. Let's get rid of this popped out graveyard. It's all over everything. Yeah, so not really afraid of a Guardian of Ghirapur swing for lethal, or at least happy to go to... Okay, so we see an Unctus. Unctus means that when Fate Stitcher does its thing, you also get a loot. So that could be highly relevant. Now have 4 mana available thanks to these Hex Parasite activations. Here's a Fauna Shaman, which I think implies we're not going to do any more, yeah. And the Fate Stitcher, of course, can tap the Guardian, and Nardu blocks the Guardian. So, kind of a strong position. Malevolent Hermit is protecting against an overloaded dam, but there are other cheaper things that would be able to get in under Malevolent Hermit. Malevolent Hermit is non-creature, so it does also stop Planeswalkers. Can mana leak Planeswalkers. Okay, so we're just going to vindicate the Fauna Shaman because we're scared about going to get another Fate Stitcher and comboing off with Unctus that we know is in hand. No Sylvan Safekeeper here, so we could use the Malevolent Hermit to keep this Fauna Shaman alive and presumably win next turn, and Tigrak thinks that's a good idea. So now this 2 remaining mana is going to have to do something mighty special to prevent a Fauna Shaman search with one of these cards in hand that's not Unctus plus Fate Stitcher. They wiggle-waggle each other up and down until you've decked yourself. Okay, we're tapping the coloured mana, so it's very safe. And assuming there's a Laboratory Maniac, I'm not really sure, because it used to play, the first time Nardu was legal, this deck played Dread Return in order to sort of complete the combo. Maybe here we just have to have enough mana to cast a Laboratory Maniac. Maybe we're not even playing a Laboratory Maniac. We're going to find out in the near future. Tigrak, pretty much the master of large Penny Dreadful tournaments, at least amongst the mods. Currently 1-0 up. And yeah, we have assembled Fate Stitcher, Unctus, so presumably there's some win here, be it a Lab Man or something else. There's even a Sylvan Safekeeper to keep us safe from Dismember, which is not legal. It's about the only thing that one game we could have to interrupt all this. Yeah, I mean, Hex Parasite, pay 6 times 2 life to put 3 lands into play and draw 3 cards, one of which was the missing, 2 of the missing 3 combo pieces, if you count Fauna Shaman having to pass the turn. It's pretty good. Those Malevolent Hermits did some work too, I assume. I mean, we don't know that one game is hand. So that one gamer will be sweating tie breaks. Tigrak will absolutely be in the top 8. So we have a mono blue, we have the Thomsonic Cascade deck, Temur Cascade with See the Truth. No Ancestral Vision, I don't think, just See the Truth. So prefer to draw or See the Truth than Ancestral Vision, and cascading into either is, I think, exactly the same. So interesting. Yeah, and this, I mean, there's 24 cards in the library. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of mana here to cast a Labman. So if it is Labman, obviously we're just going to cast it and then continue tapping the Fate Stitches with each other, or untapping them with each other, or you know what I mean, and draw from an empty library with a Laboratory Maniac in play, which wins the game. And there is Labman, so it's now just stone cold certain that this is over. It's not going to take Tiger Ape more than 10 minutes to do this. I'm going to start looking to see if there are any other top table run-in type matches still going. Quickly remind myself who's in that state. So I see, well, in fact, I think there's only one match. Maybe no match is still going yet. There's one match still going. Barrels BR, who is currently 3-2 going into this round, against Blissard, who was paired up, so has no chance to make the top 8. So this is just a potential win for them. Let's switch over to that match. And what have we got here? Well, we're in the thick of it. Our black-white aggro mid-range, not sure, quite aggro I think. Lotho Corrupt Sheriff, Flowering of the White Tree, don't know what's, is under the gun here. I think looking at a triple chump to stay in the game. So I would guess probably neither of these players are making the top 8. Although, actually, Baralds can take a game loss here and still fight on for the 3 points at the end. In the final game. I wonder, no, we're not at max speed, we're at 3 speed, which is very tragic because these would all become zombies instead of just being triple chumps. Oh, and Lurrus is indestructible somehow. Gideon, Battle Forged. Yeah, until next time target creature goes indestructible and untap it. Okay, so that's actually kind of cool. Could attack with Lurrus and get 3 life and max speed, and then untap it with Gideon and have it be indestructible again, and then play a creature from the graveyard, and then when Zahir and Vran chump block next turn, they would turn into zombies and trigger Vran. So that's a pretty cool line. So this game actually is maybe not as over as it looked like when I thought it was a triple chump block to stay alive. Yeah, so now we're up to max speed, and playing Zahir from the graveyard is really an encouraging thing to do. And Zahir triggers on itself as well, presumably. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. So definitely going to have to block with all 3, but the net result will be to go up 3 life, make 2 tap zombies, have a Vran trigger, so go up 5 life, and then presumably be able to do something pretty similar again next turn, and maybe even start attacking with these zombies. So the Gavny Township, which just makes the 3 existing guys bigger, which is not exciting because they all pretty much have to be blocked already, although I guess not quite true. But with the Ranger classes and Ozolith and everything, presumably they just all must be blocked forever. So something like a deck in stone, if the Scales deck is playing it, will win the game. Win the game, question mark. Lurrus gains 3 life. Would be very good. But as it stands, it looks like Barrels BR has found a way through this board state using Zahir and Lurrus and the flipped Kythian, is it? Yeah, it's Kythian flipped. the +1 making Lurrus indestructible pretty sweet. And untapping it, which is important for getting to max speed. So yeah, these guys get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And 2 of the 3 of them are lethal. Are they attacking face, presumably? I mean, it's not. Yeah, actually, they're all lethal. An 8, an 8, and a 10. So between the, and there's also Gavny Township activation available. So completely forced blocks, but kind of cool blocks. There goes Vran. There goes Zaha twice. You could have sacked before damage to Zaha's ability, one of them, to get a scry. I don't know how important that is, given as you're currently winning, but it seems better than not having it. We're playing Flowering from the Graveyard because it is lethal. Whoa. And this silence is too late. This Flowering is still going to resolve, and we now know that this attack for 11 is Xaxes. Well, now it's for 15. So who, or 6, he's a legend. Oh my god, it's overkill. So yeah, very nicely done. Looked completely hopeless when we tuned in, didn't it? Very nicely done. Are there any more matches? No. So I think we're going to top 8. I'll, if I'm not in it, which I don't think I am, I'll broadcast the top 8. If not, I'll broadcast after I lose my quarterfinal real fast.